Good morning, folks. This is Wyatt with Triad Dirtworks. We're going to bring you another video today. This is going to be a drainage video, and I'm going to kind of walk you through the process of when we get a call and how we kind of proceed with a drainage issue and some problems that we might have on a project. So this is going to be a little bit of residential drainage. We are dealing with some black corrugated pipe, and we've got maybe a couple clogged up. And we've also got a one that we have to install and kind of extend it out, and I think put a pop-up on it for the time being. So that's what we got going on today. So we're going to get started, and I'm going to kind of walk you through the process step by step. So the first downspout in question, folks, is going to be this guy over here, and it's a short run. We've got the end out right here, so I'm going to kind of move these pine needles away and show you what we got. Let's see. Pan the camera down a little bit, that way you can see. So you can see the downspout starting up here, and then it ends right here, and there's some kind of issue going along with it, and I believe it's clogged up. So first step that we're going to do, kind of get the debris out, everything like that, get it knocked around, and I'm just going to look up in it and kind of check around it and see anything noticeable. And I don't see anything right off, but what we will do is take a water hose and put it up in here, and then hopefully get water coming out the end, and then we'll know that that line's clear, and then we'll be able to move on to the next one. So we know one drain in the back that we're installing, but while we're here, the homeowner requested that we check these lines too and kind of proof them and investigate it and see. We might not fix it today because we don't have locates to dig with the machine and stuff, and but so we're just going to investigate, put some water down. I've got another downspout over there in that corner. We're going to do the same thing too, and also the end of that one comes out right here. And I can go ahead and tell you folks that this one is clogged up. Let's see if I can get down there a little bit better. You can see that is clogged up pretty bad, so I imagine that one's definitely going to need some addressing. So what we're going to do is get the water hose out, and we're going to proof these lines. And basically you're just taking the water hose and you are just shoving them down in between where the gutter meets and this part. You're just taking the hose and putting it down there and turning it on, just like you would flush any line. So we're going to do that right quick and see what happens. After getting that water ran, and it didn't take long, we've already got a bunch of water kind of pulling up right here, so we know that line is good and cleared. Kind of know what we got to do with this area. The water is just kind of pulling up right here. It's got nowhere to go. Need to get it on out, but that's what that looks like, proofing a line. This was a short line. I didn't suspect anything different than this. This is pretty normal. I can kind of tell right here, this is where the outlet comes out, is up, running a little bit uphill, but the pipe is working, the pipe is moving water. It's just once it gets to this point, it really doesn't have nowhere to go. So that one's good. We'll move on to the next one. And did a little bit of investigating, stuck my hand up in the drain about arm's length, and got a big wad of trash that was off. There was also a little screen cap in there, so I think what had happened was just over time, debris, pine needle stuff just kind of washed back in there, and it was a little bit coming uphill. So me and Dad, we took that and kind of wallered that out and made a V, and then instead of having the pine needles covered, make a little channel, and then that water can get on out. But I got the water turned on right now. Let's see what kind of water flow we got coming out of this thing now that I got it unclogged. Might take it a second to get here. A little bit further than the other distance. That's probably 35 feet maybe. Here comes the water, so you can see it. So we've got good water flow, and it's probably going to break right and go around this little bed. But the main thing is it's not clogged up, and it's moving water, and that's exactly what we need to check. So that is a tremendous amount of water, and looks like everything's cleared. Looks like that little getting that block out and taking that screen off the end kind of helped it out. So that's 2 down that are passing water, and we're going to move on to the other sides. right, we got another downspout right here, and this is I'm just rolling up on it right now. That was what was on that other one in the pine needles. That was just clogging up the one I just came from. A little bit of gravel in here. It's a very short distance. It just goes right there. It's like 5 feet. I think what Dad was saying, we might take it back and get it out of the yard and have it dumped right there at the pine needles. I'm hearing the main issues are kind of in the back, but while we're here, we're just proofing these lines for this homeowner to make sure everything's that's in question. Make sure everything kind of checks out here. Let me get you back down. So I'm gonna run the water and just make sure it's cleared and see what happens. This one going? We got this one going too, and it's got water. It's just having a hard time getting out. Seems to be the consensus on just about all these. But we've definitely got water right here. Folks, we're in the back of the house now. Kind of show you as we're sweeping around here. I've got the water hose, as you can see, down in the furthest downspout. I'm going to test that one and this guy right here in the corner. And as far as we know, they're supposed to come out down here at the bottom. I think Dad found the pipe, so I'm gonna set you up right there and let's see if some water comes out. As you can see, we've got water coming out right here out of the upper side. Dad, you can go ahead and cut the water off. Is it coming? Yep. That one's flowing good. Yep. Let's cut it off and let's let it drain, and then let's put it in the other downspout. So that's what we got right there, folks. We got some water coming out and it's flowing really good. So we're gonna kind of let it dissipate, let the water get out of the line, and then we'll test another one downstream, make sure we got good flow coming out of that one. Now that we got that line cleared, and the good part about all this is too, now if it is wide, and now it's going to be the telltale sign, but we started with the one that was upstream, so to speak, the first one in line. So theoretically, if that one is past, the trunk line should be good, because you know, we're getting it all the way through the line, got all continuity all the way out to this point. We would just be worried about the piece that goes from the Y to the second gutter in line. But we're gonna cross our fingers here and hope that all this comes out. And Dad kind of wallowed this out with a shovel and kind of got the end cap off of it as well. I think they had chipmunk problems getting into the lines and maybe chewing them up, so that's why they put the end caps on. And but we removed those because it was constricting flow and everything was kind of covered up. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the water. You can see this is kind of stopped already right now. I'm gonna turn on the water for the other downspout and we're gonna see if we get water, folks. So the water right now, that's what I was talking about, is you know, kind of trickling out here. And when that water comes off of the hose and gets in the line, it's going to pick up pressure and water flow tremendously. It'll be a huge difference. And then that way we ensure that both lines are good, the main line's good, and then this one will be good. So cross our fingers here, hopefully the water comes soon. Here comes the increase of flow right here. See how it picked up? Nice. That is beautiful. That is exactly what we're looking for. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's good flow, good water flow. That is exactly what we're after. So those two lines are good in the back, so we can let the homeowner know that those are good. And this is the process, folks. This is kind of the step-by-step deal with testing these lines. It takes a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of knowledge, just a little bit of common sense about it. But it's not bad. It's not bad at all. If you got a water hose, you can do it. Now, let's just say this one was a relatively easy one, mainly because, you know, hindsight's 20, all the lines are clear and we were able to pass water through them. Sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes they are cut, and you do have to rack your brain a little bit more, and we do have to kind of go back more to the truck and get some more tools out to investigate, like a snake, maybe our line locator, and shove it down there and see if we can find where it's shallow, maybe where it's cut, and see if we can find the break and repair it. But this one was a pretty pretty standard one, just some minor clogs, some minor issues, maintenance issues mainly, but everything seemed to come out really good on the ones that we tested. Now we just got to move around the side and see what Dad's working on about installing that pipe. Black pipe in right here. Have to make the connection up top here. Got our pop up in, started backfilling it here. One thing I do want to touch on here, I know there's kind of I guess you could call it pipe war. We see it, we don't get involved in it, and I'll kind of just tell you why. When it comes to pipe and drainage, folks, we really don't discriminate. We use it all, and let this video be a testament. Do I prefer PVC over black corrugated pipe? Yes. Do I think that there's certain scenarios for each of the pipes that are on the market now? Yes. So that's why we don't discriminate. And a perfect example is, and I'll kind of tell you this, the pipes that you just seen me proof, they've been in the ground since 1989. And besides a little bit of a clogging issue at the end, all of them were free and clear. So I mean, this goes to show that it's all about personal preference. To me, I think they all work. I think a lot of it has to do with how you install it, and it's a lot left up to the contractor installing it. And as long as it works in the situation, then that's all that matters. You're just moving water from point A to point B, and a lot of people get wrapped up in the kind of the medium that you use to move that said water. But as long as the water is getting moved from point A to point B, I really don't care if it's in a cardboard box, as long as the box holds up. And so as long as the water gets away, that's all we're after. And another reason too why we're using black, we use PVC quite often, but in this particular situation, the homeowner came out and said that this tree her husband planted years ago, and we did not want to disturb the roots in the tree system. You know, he is now deceased and passed, so she wanted to keep and make sure that that tree stays alive, and so we needed to hug the concrete as much as we could without getting into the roots. So with that being said, folks, there's all kinds of reasons why pipes are good, pipes are bad. You know, there's everybody's opinionated about it, but that's kind of our 2 cents in the whole pipe, the pipe deal. And but yeah, that's why we're using black corrugated pipe here in this case. It's going to work out real well. Got a pop up right here in the corner. It's going to get out and go across the driveway here and save the homeowner some money and fix her downspout solution right here. So anyways, we're going to finish covering up, and I'll tune in with you here in a second. Final walkthrough on everything. Man, on this corner I don't really need to go around and visit the downspouts that we've already cleared and test it, but this was like the main purpose we came up here today. It's this corner, and all the drain testing was kind of secondary, but still important, and investigating those things. So what we've got this area all dressed up back, and what we did, we put a piece of black 4-inch corrugated in, downspout adapter there, and dug it in, as you saw, all the way down here to the corner, to this corner of this. And like Dad said, and I've always said before, I'm not too fond of pop-ups. They're definitely a last resort option for me. But the reason why we are using a pop-up right here is because to get it out in this scenario, there's concrete everywhere. There's a retaining wall over there. You'd have to bore underneath the driveway or cut the driveway, and for one downspout, it's just not really optimal. So what we're doing right here, we got this pop-up right here, and it's going to come out and it's going to run down the driveway like it's doing. Just a lot of water right here. I just washed the sidewalk off and got all the mud off of it. But it's going to do exactly what these downspouts are doing right here on the concrete. And you can see that water is going to get out on the concrete. That's the most affordable solution to this situation. Otherwise, you got to come across all that concrete, and that's just not a no-go for one downspout. So this has been a really good project, folks. That's going to wrap up this project. please hit the comment button down below. Tell us what you want to see next. Tell us what you saw in this video, what you liked, what you disliked, all that good stuff. Please hit the thumbs up button if you liked it. And don't forget to subscribe to Triad Dirtworks channel. It does help us out a lot. And hit that bell icon if you want to get notified when our next video comes up. That helps you out. Guys, this is Wyatt with Triad Dirtworks. And like always, we sure do appreciate you. Thanks.